channel Pyramid Times. Myself Veena Surbu, alternative healer and also creative director at Pyramid Times. Today we have wonderful guest with us today, Nitya Chellam. She is an author, trainer and a life coach. She is the founder of Chellam Healing Center that focuses majorly on working with minds to shift realities. I myself, a curious, enthusiastic person in life, learned a couple of healing modalities with her, from starting from Access Consciousness bars, and then shamanic healing, angel card reading, tarot reading, and she wonderfully trains each and every one of the participants to become a teacher herself or himself. That's very nice thing and phenomenal contribution that Nitya is making on this planet currently. So this I would like to introduce. I would like to welcome Nitya.
Hi Veena, thank you so much for the lovely introduction, and I'm so happy to be here today. Thank you for inviting me to your channel.
So Nitya has also authored a wonderful book called The Place Called Home. So today's discussion is going to be based on this book. I would like to ask what this book is all about to Nitya. Yes.
Thank you so much, Veena. So viewers, this is my book, A Place Called Home. If you see, it has a very, very nurturing aura around it. And the tagline of the book, Veena, as you asked, is an invitation to fall in love with yourself and the earth. So it talks a little bit about my journey. It starts with a little bit about my journey, and then it goes into how beautiful self-love actually is and why self-love is important. And then it goes into a space where you will really understand what the earth has to offer you and how the universe always supports you. So it's such a nurturing book, and it's designed to empower people. If you see in the back, these are the amazing words which the book will give to you. Home is not just a place, it is a space that you can be. So this book moves you into a space. Be that space for yourself and everyone around you. And whoever seeks your shelter, let them in. Whoever chooses to leave, let them be. Whoever leaves and reconnects, welcome them back. And you can choose this irrespective of what anyone else chooses. So it gets you to a place where you're completely okay with who you are, where you like to be yourself, and you can empower others, and you don't get baffled by anything that anyone else does. So that's the crux of my book.
That's so wonderful, Nitya. So always we all assume that physical home is our home, but this gives a very good perspective where we can be that space which we can include others for their growth, contribute to their growth, as well as see them flourish and blossom in their own lives. So going through the book, I have come up with a few quotations which captured my eye. So it is said that start questioning everything and use questions to create an empowered life. So how long have you been practicing this questioning thing, and what all you have created out of this?
That's very interesting. So great question, Veena. So I unconsciously have been practicing it for the last 6 years or so, and consciously I've been practicing more for the last 4 years or so. So my journey, if you read my book, it started with me asking, if life is so boring and suffocating, what is the purpose of my life? So I just parked my car one day randomly at a place, and I was like, what is the purpose of my life? What is the meaning of my life? Where is the meaning in life? Because I was in a space where nothing mattered. Anyway, I had a great IT job. I had a family. I was successful from everyone's perspective and point of view. But I was still wondering, what is my purpose? And I think that's the question which I asked unconsciously, which opened up everything in my life. And then after that, what I've discovered is every time you ask a question, the universe will deliver. And you can ask questions like, what can I be to be the best version of myself? What can I be to make my life better? So these are things that will open up a lot of better things. Otherwise, we function from conclusion and assumption. And that is what I want people to get from my book. Do not assume or conclude that this is the way things are. Because when you do that, life becomes exactly like that. But life is much, much more. And if you ask a question, it's like opening a door, right? And the more you open doors, the more you see how expansive life can be. So the idea is for people to create amazing, expansive lives just by questioning. And it works. And whether you guys believe it or not, you should give it a try the minute you ask questions. And I've given some amazing questions throughout my book and also at the back of my book for all of you to ask every day. That will definitely change things for the better.
That's wonderful, Nitya. Even you have told us that you have created a home, your new home, the physical home, out of questioning.
Yes.
Just being in that question, you are able to create it with ease. That is so wonderful. And coming to one more statement. So, what if life on Earth is truly beautiful? And what would it? What if you could really experience that? Can you explain more about your connection to the Mother Earth, Gaia, and
Yeah.
why this Earth is a special planet for us, and what is our contribution over here?
Yeah, thank you for asking that question, Meena. That's a question that's very, very dear to my heart, actually, very dear. So I think for me, I found this unconditional love, this concept which people talk about, which is just in the air. I found it through Mother Earth. I found it through the earth. And I was a person who was not at all into nature or into earth. There was a part of me that wanted to run away from the planet. I was like, this planet is full of suffering. Since I was a kid, there is so much suffering, there's so much war, there's so much worry, and so much judgment. And to add to it, so many people too. So it was like a place I wanted to run away from. But I found it was my home. And I found that earth earth never judges us and it takes care of us. Nature is so amazing. See, the trees can offer you unconditional love. It gives you so much oxygen. Even if you cut it, it still gives you the oxygen. It has no hatred or anything against you. The oceans, they just provide abundance of water. And the rainfall, how pretty is that, the pleasure, the smell of the rainfall and what you get from the rainfall. So just by observing everything in nature and by observing things in nature, what I learned is nature always responds to you. The wind can talk.
It was also written in your book, what if life on Earth is truly beautiful? What if you could really experience that? Can you explain your connection to the Mother Earth, Gaia, and what is special about this planet, and how we all can contribute to this Earth and how Earth contributes to us?
Yeah, so that's a very beautiful question. Thank you for asking. So, Earth is a planet of abundance. If you see, we have abundance of water, we have abundance of air to breathe, and for our bodies to experience true pleasure, it's enough if you breathe with ease. And the pleasure of bathing, having the water on your body, and the pleasure of the feet touching Mother Earth. These are all the energies that Mother Earth gives us in abundance. So there's so much beauty in this planet. The smell of the rains, if you just stand in the rain and allow your body to get wet and smell the earth before it rains, looking at beautiful flowers, there's so much beauty in this planet that's given to us with abundance. And our bodies also love this planet. They love, for example, eating, right? When you have a physical body, you can eat. They love to sense that pleasure too, of just eating, dancing, singing. So it was earth was gifted to us for us to create so many things and for us to be happy. With our mind, we've made it into a planet of suffering. If you change your perspective, you can see the beauty of it. And I fell in love with nature and earth actually before I wrote this book. I can just look at this beautiful, beautiful trees, the ways the barks are formed. In one tree, so many little animals are there. So much goes on. If you look at the ground, so many things are happening over there. So much beauty in the greenery of the grass. Look at the birds, right? So much happening there. How beautifully they fly without using their wings, just spreading their wings, but without using too much energy of fluttering them, spreading their wings, but not overusing anything. How beautifully everything in nature is harmonious and peace itself. So these are all the things and that are available in Earth, and it's a planet of abundance. Whatever you desire, you will get more than it. That's the truth of life. So looking at all nature and animals and so much that I could learn from animals, how to be present. They don't worry about the past and the future. So just observing nature, you can completely fall in love with Earth. And that is what I went through. And I was not a person like maybe 6 years ago who was so much into nature. But today the trees, just looking at them and seeing them move with the wind, and also there's so much an unconditional love with us. So even if you cut a tree, it still gives you oxygen. It still gives you the shade. It doesn't judge you or say you're the person who cut me, I'll not give you shade again. So much to learn from Earth itself. And that's what Earth is, such a beautiful mother that loves all of us. Otherwise, if you look at Earth, she's so big. One flood and, all of human species can be out. But she truly cares for us. And that's why she gives us in abundance. And despite whatever we've been doing, the Earth still cares for us. And that's why I fell in love with the Earth. It's an amazing, amazing place to be.
That's truly wonderful, Nitya. Also, you have channeled some symbols, communion symbols,
Yes.
to connect with Earth. Can you please more elaborate or provide an overview for that?
Sure, Veena. Thank you so much for asking. That is something that's not in my book, but that's that's my specialty. You can find one symbol in my website, either nityachalam.com or chalamhealing.com. Both will work. Yeah, so you can, with those symbols, you can get the energy of the earth in your hand, and you can actually feel how beautiful it is. When you touch mud, you can feel those with symbols, and you can use the earth symbol to get pain out of you. Similarly, there's another beautiful symbol called the sun symbol. Now, with the sun symbol, you can actually get the energy of the sun and you can burn things. Mainly, we use the symbols to heal our body. So you can also use the sun symbol to burn out any pain that you have. And this, which I'm wearing, is based on a communion symbol called Heart of the Earth. So when you draw the symbol, you actually feel a very strong and deep connection to the earth, and you can feel how enormous earth is and how expansive you are. Because in the Bhagavad Gita, there is a saying that the whole universe is within you, and that's what you can experience when you connect with the heart of the earth. How much uh, earth loves us, and earth is looking for peace and happiness. So what I learned is the biggest gift you can give back to the earth, who gives you so much, is your laughter and your gratitude, and that will enable the earth to thrive a lot. And there's also wind symbol and a rain symbol. My personal favorite is the rain symbol, and can use it to feel a sense of rain. Also, rain and water are things that I use to let go of unwanted emotions. The rain symbol can drown out unwanted emotions in the body. There's so many things to play with personally. So yeah, those symbols are literal magic. If any of you have learned Reiki or heard about Reiki, it would be more or less similar to using a Reiki symbol, but they're complete different symbols and very powerful in their own way. They're all based on earth energies, the different earth energies that come to us.
That's so wonderful, Nitya. And you have also written that becoming an adult and growing up is important. However, it is equally important to hold on to the childlike wonder and joy that was once part of us. So even Jesus says that only when we become a child, then only we can enter the kingdom of God. Can you elaborate more on this?
Sure, Veena. Thank you for asking me that question. See, when we are children, we don't worry much. We are in the present. You fight with your friend, you don't hold on to it through the rest of your life, right? You're looking forward to the sunrise, right? You're like, wow, tomorrow, we don't want to sleep. Can you find a child who just wants to sleep after midnight also? If you allow them to be awake, they'll stay awake. They're so full of life. But then as we become adults, we get into judgment and we lose that. And then some adults behave like children. So what am I saying? This way, not in a good way. Like, I'll remember what you said for the rest of my life. I'm maybe I might look 50 years old, but I behave like a 20-year-old. You're late. I'm angry at you. So being adult doesn't mean that. Being an adult means being so strong, knowing that you're sure of yourself and you can create your life, and not reacting, actually responding, because children can react. Like when you snatch a chocolate from a child's hand, it will cry. But adults, they know they can get it back. They know what they can do. So adults learn to respond, but yet do not lose the joy and the happiness that the child has. Forget things that don't serve you. Always respond and don't hold on to anything, and be joyful, because the joy and wonder of, wow, tomorrow when the sun rises, how beautiful it will be, is found a lot in children. As we become adults, it's more like, should the sun rise? It becomes into a different state. Like, do I want to wake up tomorrow? It's better if I just sleep off. So let's embrace, be adults, respond to everything, but yet the joy and wonder, because you were created to be happy. You were created uh, to play with a planet full of possibilities. And only when you're happy and joyous, you can actually see the beauty of this planet. You can enjoy the beauty of, like, even a flower, right? I don't need money to just see a flower or enjoy it. Or even the rain, right? That's priceless, is it not? The smell of the rain. You don't need money to enjoy it. So nature is gifting you things for free. Now children with wonder can observe this. So that is what I mean by when I say be like an adult, but don't lose your childlike.
That's so profoundly explained, Nitya. How being in the present moment, we will see all the abundance of the nature, as well as we will have all the wisdom to operate in our lives. So, and there is also a sentence that you have written: your own judgments and your own filters you have about who you are and what you should or what you should not do. If you let these go, then life can be more expansive, joyful, and easier to live. So why do that we always judge ourselves, or we compare with ourselves, or we feel jealousy if somebody else is prospering? So why do we get into this kind of zone, and how to overcome all these things?
Yeah, that's a good question, Meena. So why we get into it is that's how this reality functions. That's how, even though Earth is a planet of abundance and non-judgment, somewhere the human species has got into judgment. And comparison is one of those judgments that's very very meaningless, but that's unfortunately become a way of life. So you are always compared to the others, even when you're born, right? As a child, you've been compared to your siblings. So you think that's the right way, and you think that the way of getting better is to compare yourself with another person. And jealousy is also another form of comparison where I've decided I cannot be like the other person. But the truth is we're all created from equal consciousness but diverse. So we're all so different, right? It's like comparing oranges and apples. We don't say this fruit is better than that. We want to have all of it, right? So the creator wanted all of us to enjoy and express ourselves differently. So when we get to the truth, when we get closer to the truth and move away from the lies, then you can overcome comparison with, or even judgment. When you know that the earth is giving you in abundance, there is no lack for you, and you are so beautifully diverse. There's no one else like you, is there? Is there anyone else like you, Veena? Is there anyone
No,
else like me? When there's no
no.
one else like you, who should you compare yourself with? Whom are you running a race against? There's nothing. And all you can do is be the best version of yourself. Now I'm saying that very lightly, but that's the most amazing thing to be. So you can outcreate yourself. So compare yourself with who you were yesterday and get better. There's no need to compare with anyone else. And jealousy means you're lesser than the other person. So it's a judgment of making yourself less. And that also, unfortunately, is because as children, we've been told this is wrong, this is not the way to do it, this is not what I was expecting from you. So we've been ingrained with the thought that whatever we do is wrong. And also, we've been ingrained with some thoughts that the other person is better. The person you see on TV is better. This person's body looks better. So we've been ingrained with some of those thoughts, but it's time to let it go. And when you let those go, life will be amazing. You will come to know how beautiful you are. That's why my book carries the title, An Invitation to Fall in Love with Yourself. And if you don't love yourself, who else will? And trust me, Mother Earth loves you so much, the universe loves you so much. So you should look at yourself from the eyes of the universe, to actually see how truly gifted and unique you are, not through the eyes of any judgments or anyone else's judgments, especially yours, because we're so used to judging ourselves, which is something I think now is the time to start changing that and move into a zone of complete freedom, which is non-judgment.
That's so wonderfully explained, Nitya. How to be centered in our own self and how to see our own elegance. That's beautifully explained. And starting of the book, there are many wonderful questions you have written. How to create our own life very beautifully. And here is the question you have mentioned: what will this choice create for me? So, what exactly is the choice, and how can we choose anything in our life?
Okay, so that's a question that I learned from Access Consciousness, which is really really amazing. It's an amazing modality to change lives. So, what will this choice create for me? As children, we've been told everything you do is wrong. So people in general are afraid to choose, right? You're literally afraid to choose, and you take a lot of time to choose. Like, even should I wear this shirt, or will I go wrong? Maybe my parents can guide me better. You ask opinions for so many people. But the thing is, whatever they say may not work for you. I think we've experienced that in life,
Yes,
where you
definitely.
have you were afraid to make a choice, and you thought you'll ask 5 or 6 friends, and then after listening to them, you were still confused, or you made a choice and it still didn't work. So rather than doubting ourselves, we ask, what will this choice create for me? Just ask a question and then follow your awareness. There is an intuition or an awareness within us. So when you ask a question, your awareness will start responding, will start showing you the way. So that's the idea of this question. When you ask, what will this choice create for me? You might feel really good about it. That means that's something you should choose. If you don't feel good about it from your gut, something that it's better off you not choose. That's the idea, to get people to start choosing different things and choose what works for you.
That's so wonderfully explained, Nitya. So many a times we have choices in life, but we are not sure where we are heading. And it is written in your book that how can I respond to all situations with ease? So how can we operate in easiest way in our life, and how to choose in a easiest way?
Again, whatever feels good is what we should choose. That's the easiest way. And when you keep asking yourself, how do I respond with ease, you will know how to respond. So when you keep asking every day, the idea is to keep asking the questions in the book as much as possible. So when a situation comes, at that time we say, how do I respond to this with ease, instead of reacting? So that itself is a response when you've asked a question. And then you wait for some time, rather than, say, getting upset. Just wait for 1 or 2 days, and then you will see things will turn out better. You'll be able to see the reason, probably why this didn't work. And there's always something better, because I truly believe that the universe always has something better in store for you if one opportunity does not work out. And I've seen it again and again in my life. So just simply asking, how do I respond to the situation? And being as happy as you can be, being as relaxed as you can be, will open up a different universe. And you don't have to do anything. You just have to be that happy and relaxed.
Yes. So it is also wonderfully written in your book that first we have to learn to be and then do in order to have what we desire.
Yes.
It's a very wonderful quote. Can you elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah.
Like
Thank you.
what all we can create
Yeah.
by being in that space?
Yeah, that's an amazing question. Thank you for asking that. See, in this reality, usually what have we seen? Comparison, judgment. The other thing we see is, people think that they have to have a lot of money. They have to have this much money, and then they can do their business, they can start their career, and then they can be happy. So they believe they have to do something. They have to have something, and then they will do something, and then they will be happy. Now it's the other way around. If you look at the truth of life, if you be happy, then you'll be shown what to do. Your awareness will tell you, okay, for example, I'm right here giving this beautiful interview in front of this channel. So my awareness will guide me to beautiful things like this. And then I will have money too. So I have to be something. And then I will be shown what to do, and I'll have what I'm asking. So it works the other way. And that's so easier, right? So if you want, for example, if you want crores of rupees, you have to be that happy now, as if you have crores of rupees. And then it'll come and find you. But what do? We don't do, we are so unhappy saying that we don't have the money. And then you lost this present moment, which is more precious than any money at all. And you lost the present. After losing the present moment also, you're not going to have that money that you're asking, because you're not attracting it. So as per the law of attraction, you be something and you'll have it. It's not that when you have something, you'll become happy. So that's not the way.
That's wonderfully explained, Nitya, how to be in that space and be happy parallelly with it so that we can create whatever we desire. And it is also written on the book about creation and co-creation.
Yes.
So, yes.
That's my favorite topic. So the whole universe is within you. You are the universe. And so who's the co-creator with you? The universe. So the way we have to understand it is, I'm never alone. I'm there and I have an assistant me. Now this assistant is the universe. And that assistant is so powerful, so smart. It knows the best and fastest way to do everything. There is nothing that my assistant does not know. That's my co-creator. But I have to ask that, universe, I would like this. Universe, this is where I would like to head. And then the universe would give me that. So what is it that we have to understand about a co-creator is, see, when I'm really sad and I cry all the time, my assistant or my co-creator, they wouldn't like me, would they? Would you like working with someone who's crying all the time, who's upset? When you walk into office, your boss is always crying. They're always saying, oh no, this will not happen. Would you like to work with them?
No.
No. But when when you're extremely happy, when you go to work with someone and you are so happy and they see you, you invite them to work with you, you inspire them. Can you create something greater?
Yes.
So we have such a
Definitely.
powerful co-creator with us. So just being happy and joyous is a way to engage that co-creator to give us whatever we want. And the trust, you have to trust that your co-creator is really powerful and they can do whatever you want. So when you have something that powerful working for you, is there a need for you to worry about anything? No, you just have to ask and you should get it. And you should be shown what to do. So there are minimum things we have to do, and that is by following your awareness. But you have to be willing to create along with the universe. And so when we ask something really beautiful, like how can all the animals in the planet thrive? How can each and everyone be happy? Then the co-creator will start working on that. The universe will start opening doors beyond your imagination. And that is why if each and every one of us asks for something greater, the universe will respond and we can probably even create a complete different world than what's there today. And that's what I would like to invite people to.
That's so awesome. So this book, every para gives some insights into your life, the sufferings you have gone through, or the future possibilities that gets aligned for you. It gives a profound information which can cause transformation in your own life and in the people around you. Also, I have read in your book that the place called is your body. So can you elaborate more on that?
Yes. So a place called home, your true home is actually your body. That's where your soul lives, right? Without your body, you don't have a place on earth itself. So rather than a physical home, how much joy and pleasure you have with your body is where home matters. And if my body is happy and healthy, I can make a lot of money and I can travel the whole world. So any place on earth can be my home. That's why in my book, there's one chapter that explains why your body is your true home. And it invites you to fall in love with yourself, with earth, and your body also, not to exclude your body at all.
That's so wonderfully explained, Nitya. Thank you for this interview, for giving us opportunity to take this knowledge to the world. Yes.
Thank you so much, Veena, for giving me this opportunity. And if you guys like this video, please subscribe to Pyramid Times. And I would like to thank Pyramid Times again for starting this beautiful venture and for inviting me to talk on this platform. And I hope you reach out to so many more people and spread so much goodness all over the world. Thank you so much, Veena.
Thank you, Nitya. So we have the links to this book under this video, and you can as well reach out to her through the website information provided in this video. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.